Hey y'all, and welcome to this episode of Skyrim Scripting. On this episode, the dog and I are going to teach you how to use the Skyrim Papyrus Debugger and the easiest way to view your Papyrus logs. Ready to go? Cool. She's just going to be a weird blur over here. If she gets in the way of the screen, I'll ask her to leave. Alright, let's do this thing. Alright, in the last episode when we went over SKSE, we made a stupid mod where if you shoot something with a bow, you teleport to Riften. We need something to debug, so let me make a stupid mod. In the whatever we make, I want there to be things that log out that we can see. Let's gonna make a new thing, and like how about if someone hits you, it kills the person. Or better yet, it'll disable them. I don't know if you know what disable means, but it'll just make them poof, totally disappear from the game. Let's go to manage and make a new profile for this thing that we'll call Don't Hit Me, Please. And it won't use profile specific game INI files. We'll make a new empty mod called Don't Hit Me Please. We'll enable it for creation kit's purposes so that we can edit creation kit and tell it to save all of its files into Don't Hit Me Please. And we'll run CK. And as always, CK opens up this box because we're running it with the SSE creation kit fixes, which you should be doing as well. We're going to open up Skyrim. I can sip my tea. And it should be about done. We'll save. Don't hit me, please. Character quest. We'll make another reference alias because this is an event on the player. We want to know when the player gets hit. And this is all just so that we can log stuff and have something to work with. And because it's kind of dumb and stupid. Don't hit me, please quest. Filter. Quest alias is reference alias, player ref. Fill type specific reference, select forced reference, cell any ref should autofill and script add. Whoops. Add new script. You itching? Scratching? Hey. You come here? You come here? Nope. Alright. You'll just make the XSplit green screen look really weird over here. This is going to be a reference alias, not an actor. And we'll call it Don't Hit Me Please Player Script. Please don't hit me. You'll regret it. It'd be cool if we made it start some dialogue like that. Then we're done. Peace out. Okay, and save and exit CK. Go into code. Go to this cute little scroll for Papyrus on the side, and we'll just set that project up as a mod. Now we can go to our workspaces, and we should see it. Don't hit me, please, and we'll head on over there. We can go to our scripts, and here's our script. Let's say on hit. I think it's probably something like that. I don't know. I've got events in my history. The events category from creationkit.com. You can just go to creationkit.com and search for events after you choose Skyrim instead of Fallout. On hit. I think you should get the attacker. There's the aggressor, which would be us. No, not us. We are going to hit stuff and nothing's going to happen. If we get hit, that's when we care. So if we get hit, The on hit is only going to trigger that. It's a long reference. I wonder if you can actually do that / in Papyrus. Because you can, I would totally do stuff like this. Let's see if it works. I would totally like this. Let's do debug.trace. Oh no, so we were hit by, and the aggressor, aka aggressor dot, do we have a name? Let's use SKSE so that we can get their name. So we'll turn on SKSE, and we'll go to the SKSE folder, script source, and we'll add this as an import so that we can import and use all the SKSE stuff. So we just go to the project file, we go to imports. If I weren't making a screencast, I would set this up to use the mods folder. You can look at the template and some of the description of things. It's there to help you. Save. Let's just close and open code because that makes it reload those imports super duper fast. And now I can say aggressor dot get, and name is there. And then let's just go ahead and disable them. Oh no, aggressor. I think that's fucking adorable. Ooh, you can make them fade out. I'm just I'm using this because if you just say disable true, then I'm like, what the heck is true? You can always use this. You can always use the variable name with an equal sign, and it's a lot easier to see in some cases, especially with Booleans, when you're reading your code, why you pass true. This is a lot better than just disable true. Save, build. Now we want to install the debugger. You just go over to the debugger here, and you hit play for Skyrim. It's going to say, this requires a plugin. Do you want us to install it? Only say yes if, after you installed the Papyrus extension, you went to settings, you can do control comma, or to go to file preferences settings, and you went to Papyrus Skyrim, and you gave it the folder where you put all your mods in mod directory path. If you did that, then when we hit play and say install plugin, it's going to say it did it, and we can now see that there's a Papyrus debug extension that was added here, and it has an SKSE and plugins folder because it's an SKSE plugin. It's going to say don't forget to enable this in your mod manager. So okay, let's enable it in our mod manager. We have to refresh. If you're in Vortex, you got to close and reopen. Click. Cool. We'll enable don't hit me please. And I think we're ready to kick this off. We got to run it with SKSE because we're using SKSE. And SKSE is required for the debug extension. So when this comes up, you want to allow access. If you accidentally say cancel, come on. You need to say allow access. If you accidentally say cancel, close Skyrim, reopen it, and I think you'll get the prompt again. Now, as soon as it hits the main menu, you can connect to it with the debugger. So we'll do that here. Just hit the play button, and it'll show this little connected thingy. It'll open up the debug console. I'm going to zoom out a bit. If you don't see the debug console, you can go to View, Debug, Console. And it's nice to, if you can put this on a second monitor if you have one, or just put it kind of below your Skyrim, so like this, so we can see it. So we'll go to Riverwood. Oh, there's no one to hit us here. And we could run around, sprint, and no, sprint. Find some people.
A dragon! I saw a dragon!
What? A dragon? Cool.
What is it now, Mother?
It was
You're as good as dead.
Okay, we got hit. Let's pause for a second. Oh, I want to see the people disappearing. I think they disappeared. Hit me. Hit me, yo. They fade out. I bet that person will fade out too. Oh, we forgot to turn on logging. That's why it's not showing the logs. Let's peace out. Like, why is our stuff not showing up down here? We didn't turn on the logs, so you need to head over to Documents, My Games, Skyrim Special Edition, and there's your Skyrim mini. Open this up with Notepad, and you're looking for the Papyrus section. And there, I shall make it big. I shall make it very big. You need to enable logging. You need to enable trace. And for our debugger, you need to enable debugging. We're not going to use the Skyrim profiler. I don't know if I'll ever have an episode on that. It would be cool. There's some cool tools that some modders have released for it, but we'll see. Save, close. Now, if you're using a mod manager like Mod Organizer 2, which we are, I always, with my profiles, have been saying don't use profile-specific game INI files. So if we go to Tools, Tool Plugins INI Editor, which shows the Skyrim INI, it should be the same as what we just added. Cool, it's got logging and enabled and stuff. This is just another view of Skyrim INI. But if you didn't deselect those profile-specific INI files, then every profile will have a different Skyrim INI, and you'll need to go into Tools, Tool Plugins, INI Editor, and every time for every game you're going to have to add the Papyrus things if you want to use the logger or debugger. So let's kick this off again now that we enabled those. I'm like, where's our stuff? It's very frustrating. Connect to it. You can do that as soon as it hits the main menu, and you can disconnect and connect whenever you want. Before the end of the episode, we're going to add a breakpoint, but I'm just showing you logging right now. Let's go to Riverwood again. We want to see our trace statements. Debug trace prints to the Papyrus thingamajigger.
a dragon! I saw a dragon!
What? What is it now, Mother?
Never should have come here.
Alright, hit me. And you're gonna figure out. Now look at the console. Oh no's we were hit by. Oh bummer, it's not telling us the names of the aggressors.
I think you're bleeding.
So this is actually a good opportunity to use the debugger. Hit me, bro. Oh no! So, not invincible. So what we want to do is, we saw this stuff. Unfortunately, it only says, it's not printing out the name of the aggressor. Normally you'll want to use this little filter thing when you log, by the way. If we just say oh no's, then it'll show us just our log messages. Let's do that while we figure out why this isn't working. So to figure out why this isn't working, we're going to close VS Code. We're going to close Mod Organizer 2. And we are opening up our friend, the data directory, and we're opening up our good friend Vortex. It's going to be like, hey, you changed stuff without me. Why wasn't I there? You didn't include me. And we'll say apply changes. And we will go to mods. And we'll see SKSE, the debugger, and don't hit me please. We want all of those. So boop, boop, boop. We'll see an SKSE directory show up here with the debugger. We'll see our don't hit me please show up. And actually one funky thing is that might be unexpected is if you go to your mods and go into don't hit me please, you know we have our PPJ here and we have our code workspace here. That's the thing that opens up VS Code and sets it up so that you can Control-Shift-B run the task really quickly, I think. Vortex moved those files over to data as well because it doesn't know not to move them over. So what we're going to do is we pushed all of our files into data, okay, using Vortex, and we're going to open up the code workspace from data. So we want Visual Studio Code to open up all the stuff in data. So here we can see the Skyrim the SKSE plugin. We can see all the scripts. Here's all the SKSE PEX scripts. Under source, we can see every Papyrus source code file in the game. If we try and scroll down and find our "Don't hit me, please," it's going to be very hard. So you can use Control P. It's Control P to search files, and just don't hit. That should be enough. You can even "Don't hit, please." It's a fuzzy finder. If you know what that means, you don't have to. I can just say like "pulls." Like stuff like that, and it'll help me find it. So you can do some shortcuts. Here's our script. What do we want to do? What moving this into the data folder enables us to do is click here. We can click there, and then every time the Skyrim engine hits this line of code, it'll pause. It'll pause and it'll give us control. It'll move over to Visual Studio Code. I'm really bummed that we can't get the name of this. Let me look at okay, aggressor dot. Now anything we do here won't be compiled, so I can't actually do anything here. Let's just do this for the first time. Whenever you make changes to this, you make changes in your workspace, and normally what I do is you pull everything out of data, you make your changes, you push it back into data. Using Vortex, it's super fast. We'll do it. Let's see this work. Let this run. We don't need to use Mod Organizer 2 for this. We can run using Vortex. We can go to the dashboard, and here's the SKSE version. Or we can just stay on our mod page for convenience, and we could go to the Skyrim Special Edition folder and just run the SKSE loader directly. Now, as soon as we're in here, let's do this. Let's connect to the debugger. We're pretty stoked about when this gets hit, but for the debug console, let's just filter no's, so that it doesn't show any other logs. It's only going to show our logs. Here we go. Let's run on over. Let's kind of be a dick.
A dragon!
What do you think you're doing?
Now look at the logs. The breakpoint's not getting it. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? We're in data script source. Please don't hit me. Let's try and add an extra breakpoint here.
Whites take you!
There we go, it paused. I guess it didn't like this this line for whatever. Sometimes just add a couple breakpoints to make sure that one of them hits. So what we can see here is we can see actually all the variables that were passed to us. We can see that in this case, for this lady, there was no projectile, it wasn't a power attack or a sneak attack or a bash attack, and we didn't block it. The aggressor is an actor. It doesn't expand much, unfortunately. You can't, as far as I know, you can't use watches and say like AK aggressor dot get name. That stuff doesn't work as far as I know. So if you want more information than what's in here, you should add a bunch of variables over here, and you can poke around here. So the downside of this is it The Papyrus debugger doesn't print out a lot of information, but you get all of your variables. And in your scripts, you might have some scripts with dozens of like properties. You may have functions with a number of, there's a dog. There's a dog butt. Hey, dog butt. There's a dog. Just hanging out. For this little script that doesn't have any properties, it doesn't look that useful, but it super duper is. Now, we want to play to let this continue. One of the gotchas when you're using a debugger with Skyrim is now we need to alt-tab back to the engine, essentially, to let it run. And it already came back here. Wish we had the aggressor name. Not available. I don't know how that stuff works. Womp. I don't think you can call functions arbitrarily like that. Let's just disconnect it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull our don't hit me please out of the data directory. And then we're going to make some changes to it. So I'm going to go to my workspaces and go back to don't hit me please. I'm just going to add some I'm just going to guess and add some like variables or something. Let's say like string aggressor name equals aggressor.get name. Let's look for aggressor dot, is there like get base object? Let's try that. Let's try string base name equals get base object. How about base aggressor equals, and if there's a base object, if base aggressor, make this bigger for you. If there's a base object, then we will print out its name, or we'll just get it. String base name equals base name dot get name. Can we get the name? Get base object returns a form. So we should say, oh, base aggressor dot get name. I don't know why that's annoyed. I know I didn't spell this stuff right, but that shouldn't matter. Let's see if it compiles. Let me see what's going on. Duh, I'm an idiot. It's like, this isn't a string. Get base object returns a form. If base aggressor is an object, then let's get its name. Let's just put it in a variable for now. Base name equals, and I don't know, we could get other stuff from base aggressor. We get its type, which is what? Is that an int? I don't know. We get all kinds of random stuff. I really don't think if anybody can figure out how to get the watch working for the Papyrus debugger, you'll be my favorite person. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to build it. Control-Shift-B. We're going to go over to Vortex, close Vortex, push this back down into the game, head on over to our game folder, run the game, do the same Riverwood thing, so that seems to be working pretty well, connect to the debugger. Let's add some, let's open up the workspace in the data folder, which has all the files. And here's our script. And here we can see we updated it. I want one of these to trigger because all these variables will be set at that point. I'll show you this. If this hits, then the variables won't be set yet. Let's connect. Let's get ourselves hit.
A dragon! I saw a dragon!
What?
Ah!
Never should have come here.
Mercy!
Alright, hit me.
Leave here alive.
Logs. Alright, it goes to here, and what we can see is... I wish I could find out how this worked. But that's also not the right name. Just in case that works. How do I get rid of that right now? So all these things are set to their default value. The aggressor name, the base name, the base type. This is just integers start as 0, so these things aren't set. If we hit play, let's go back to the game and let it hit the next breakpoint. Come on, I want one of these to hit down here. Play again, play again. There we go, we're down here. Now we can see we've got the base aggressor as a form, and we actually have their base name, Sven, so that's what we were doing wrong. We were trying to get the aggressor's name, but we need to get their base object. I wish that would work. I don't know how to get watch working. I'll play again. This is not available. Cool. So if we wanted to fix this, of course, let's disconnect. You can disconnect and reconnect whenever you want. It's so disappointing when they hit me. Hit me. Come, hit me. Bye-bye. My heavy armor increased. I can pull this back out now that I've learned. I've used the debugger to learn some stuff, so I'm just going to pull this stuff back out of the data directory. We don't want that stuff in our data directory. As I've mentioned a bunch of times, we want to keep our data directory as pristine as we can. So if I have a bunch of stuff that I'm pushing with Vortex, I'll just select all and then I'll say disable. So back over in our code, we can go to code, go to our workspaces to make sure we open up the right one, go to our don't hit me please, and we could just update our script now that we've understood. We can say, we could trace this. We could also print out a debug message box. Get base object dot get name. And let's message box this as well. Save, build, compiling, mod organizer 2, SKSC, and we don't have breakpoints set anymore. We could do this, make one other change. It's annoying that they can keep hitting us, right? So we'll set fade out to false. We'll just call disable because that's false by default. So say build. And play this again. How are we doing on time? Cool, about a 30-minute episode. I like that. I like a 30-minute episode. What's the next episode? Episode. I totally forget what we're doing next. I don't know if we're packaging already. It'd be crazy if we're packaging. We might be doing tools.
What? Never should have come here.
I yield.
I'm not looking at the trace, but here we were hit by Sven. Oh, and they just peace out immediately, so they can't hit us more, which is cool. So that guy peaced out. And Brihad. Gimme. Goodbye. Goodbye. I'm still obviously getting hurt pretty bad, but... Alright, cool. That's pretty dope, right? I love it. Let me close this stuff. What is the next episode? Let's get a preview. Properties, browse. Ooh, I'm not ready for this one. This one's going to be cool. We're going to be doing the basics of Papyrus because now, I mean, we've been doing all of this stuff. We installed Skyrim, we installed the creation kit, we installed mod managers, we installed all of our tools for writing scripts, we installed our debugger. We've basically been doing tools for 6 episodes, not counting the intro. So we haven't really looked at the scripts and how to actually write them. I've just been writing them, right? You've just been watching me write event blah and kind of rolling with it, and occasionally using these strings and ints and stuff. So we're actually going to pause and we're going to focus on Papyrus. I'm just going to give it a shot right after this episode and see how it goes. And I don't know how many takes it's going to take, but I'm going to try and get you up and running so you feel pretty good about Papyrus. There are a ton of different screencasts out there that go through individual details. There's one I saw when I was browsing today that's like a 10-part episode that goes through little stuff. I'm going to try and have one episode that just gives a brief overview, so I'm going to go too fast for some folks if you've got no scripting knowledge. The whole series kind of focuses on folks who are interested in scripting and programming, so I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. Let me switch this back so that I can close out. Debugger. That debugger is cool. I normally don't use the debugger. What I do normally do is very often when I play the game, I connect the, I don't use the breakpoints very often, that whole vortex thing. I do it when I really need to figure out what's going wrong. And it's great because in a big script, I can see tons of my properties and what they're all set to. I can see which scripts are running. It's sweet. But normally what I'll do is when I run the game, I'll just connect the debugger, I'll put it on the other monitor, have the debug console there with a filter, and you should learn how to do this. I'll show you. You should learn how to do this one last thing. If we go to Mod Organizer 2, and we open up Don't Hit Me Please, we can just do that here in code. Instead of doing debug.trace, what I normally do is I'll make a new script called like Don't Hit Me Please util. And I'll add a global function that returns nothing, just function log string message. It needs to be called text. If you do message, it'll break. Global end function debug.trace, and then I'll just do like this. Don't hit me please, space, the text. Now I'll save that and I'll go back here and shoo. And not you, baby, you don't have to shoo, you're fine. Instead of using debug trace, what we do is we call don't hit me please util.log, and you can add a comment to that if you want to. Sometimes I think this is a bug in Joel Day's plugin. The very first function in a file, sometimes the comment doesn't get found. So Joel Day, if you're watching, fix it. I'll see if I can fix it at some point if I have time, especially if this is written in C#. Anyway, so we'll use log. It's log, it's better than da. So we'll build it, run it, we'll debug it. Here's why we're doing that. You can probably already guess. So we connect to the debugger, and what we do is we just put this in the filter. Kind of like I did with Oh No's, but normally this is a great convention where you can have one logger function that your entire thing uses. You can also, it gives you an easy way to turn off whether or not you log, because trace, there's a dot trace conditional, or you can give it a string and then a boolean for whether or not to show the trace, and you can hook up your debug logs to like some property in a configuration menu that the users can use to see whether or not your stuff logs. So you can keep your logs off by default, but like turn them on if a user wants to see them. So anyway, it gives you one place where you can make changes like that instead of doing debug traces in a lot of places. Call this one function. Bum, 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 bum. Ba-da, 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 ba-da. Riverwood. We could go somewhere else, but Riverwood's just been working great. So now we have the logs showing. We have that debug message box as well, but we've got the logs showing just logs from our plugin. So there you can see, don't hit me please. And what we did was our code just said, oh no's we were hit by. But what we get in the logger is don't hit me please, oh no we were hit by, because we use that global function. So again, we'll wait to get hit by other people. That guy keeps missing us with his bow. And you can see. Come on, hit us. And this guy really sucks. Hit us. Hit us. Keep missing. I'm gonna like hit you. There we go. Ooh, let's let this guy pass. Oh, Alvor. I love you, Alvor. I've done quests for you. Aight, yo. There's still a dog here. I wonder how long the dog has been here and if the dog's been showing up near these log messages. So, cool. Alright, peace. I'm going to prep the Papyrus basics, and then after Papyrus basics, what else do we have left? Ooh, we can do tools, and then we can do packaging your mod for release, and then this is done, and I can close it out. I think I will have gotten this done in one day. However, I've been prepping for this for a week. So I hope it's going pretty well. No screencast can be perfect, so I'm rolling with my flaws. Alright, peace. Happy modding.